Welcome everyone to another episode of Ozark Online. We're going to speak with you today about some things that deal with COVID-19 and how our company is making adjustments for all of our employees and drivers. Have with me today Donnie Caldwell. Donnie's our Chief Operating Officer, been with the company a number of years and even more years than that in transportation. And so welcome, Donnie, glad to have you here.
Glad to be here, Pat. I think right now we're dealing with something that you and I, over our years in transportation, of all the things we've seen, we never thought we would be dealing with what we're facing across this country right now. It's stunning.
You know, the interesting thing is our industry's been through so many changes, and we've answered the bell every time we needed to, and we will again with this right here. But this particular situation is invisible.
We can't. Yeah, it is. We don't know what we're fighting.
We can't see it. If we could see it, it'd make it so much easier to manage, but we can't. So we now have to manage something that it's just totally different.
Well, as you said, we adapt. We always adapt. We always figure out a way. Our industry, we just continue on. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
Right.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the impact that all drivers, our drivers as well as all drivers out there, the impact they're having on this crisis. If it weren't for those men and women, we'd be in a worse shape than we are.
Thank God we've got a resilient group.
We do have a resilient group. We do. And Pat, as we hope we learn some things through this, but one of the things I hope we learn is, as the general public, is really how important these men and women are.
I think our industry for sure has been looked with most recently with a lot more respect. Everybody in America realizes if we let trucks slow down or shut down, our society will come to an end.
Well, those shelves get empty really quick.
They really do. So I thought we would speak a little bit about our current drivers. What have we been doing for our current drivers, and what changes are they going through, and that kind of thing. And one of the things I think is that the social distancing that we're doing here at our location and our other locations, and how it affects our drivers.
Well, Pat, we've always been a family atmosphere. Come see us, come talk to us. So this is really hard on all of us. We're used to visiting with and seeing the drivers every day. So this is really a big change. It's a big change for us. It's a big change for them. But what we have done is we have social distance, like you said. We have people remotely working, people working from home. We've decreased the number of people we have on site. Our shop has done a really good job of providing cleaning supplies and hand sanitizers. We're distributing that out to the drivers as much as we can. We're doing everything in our power to protect every employee.
A lot of companies consider themselves to be a family type situation. But when your owner, as ours, stays on the dock as much as he does in the office, everybody knows we really are. And that's so changed now because we're just trying to comply with social distancing. So it's been tough on our drivers. This maybe one of the toughest things they're dealing with is, us trying to conduct our business the same way we always have, but in a distance, at remotely, and keeping our distance.
Yeah, because they've gotten so used to being able to come in and sit down in my office or your office or our owner's office or any of our offices and talk to us about issues, problems, or just talk.
That's right.
And I can tell you in my career here at Ozark, which has lasted quite a while, this is the longest time that I have spent, which would be this week, and have not had contact with a driver directly, face to face.
Right.
And that's difficult because we want to make sure they know that we appreciate them and what they do and the job they do.
Right. We've got a group every Thursday that get together over at the employee center and cook.
Yeah.
And they did so again this Thursday, but they had to make changes to the way they did that because, again, they're trying to protect themselves and that kind of thing. So then we got new hires, and we had to make changes for the new hires.
Well, you guys did a great job with that. That was a really good plan to keep that social distancing and how we could do that. And I mean, I haven't seen it myself, but I understand now we're doing a lot of work online with that.
We are.
Made that a lot easier and shorter.
We average, here at Ozark, we had averaged 20 people a week for orientation. Well, we're still trying to accomplish that, but what we made changes so that we could do 2 orientations. So we put a lot of the orientation material online that we felt like we could still accomplish what we wanted to do. And we cut the orientation in classes in half. So we won't allow more than 10 people in orientation. And we've just, in that great big room we work with them, we've just scattered them out as far as we could to get at least 6 feet social distance from everybody. And actually, the drivers, they don't care as much about orientation as our leaders do.
Correct.
And so actually by moving the orientation online and only having a little over a half day in-house, we've made those new hires happier. They're getting on the road quicker. They're starting to generate income for their family and revenue for our company.
Well, we know that's the goal. When they come in here for orientation, what they're interested in is what they absolutely have to know to get their truck.
That's right.
And to get their first load. Right. And that's what you guys have done is you've sped that process up dramatically. And
so
that's great.
Donnie, you're more in touch with our customers and that kind of thing. So what are our drivers facing at our customer locations? What are some of the changes they're doing there?
Well, Pat, I think what we've seen there is some of the same things we're seeing here in this building. Social distancing. We have customers that are they're limiting the number of people into their driver lounges. They're asking drivers to stay in their trucks. We have customers who are checking temperatures, doing driver screenings that way. Just seeing a lot of different things out there. And again, our drivers are resilient. They're accepting these things and they're facing the challenge and just moving on.
We've the only person that's in our driver's truck is our driver. And we're trying to remind all of them, hey, that is your safe haven. I know you get a little stir crazy being in that cab all day long, but the more you can stay in that cab, the safer you're going to be.
Well, that's their safe place.
That's their safe place.
That's right.
And our new hires, we're still doing road tests at Ozark. And so how are we doing that? Well, our road test people are wearing masks. Between each road test, we wipe all the touch points down in the truck to protect that new hire and to protect our person that's out there doing the test with them. It's just different way of doing business, but still trying to get the same things done.
Well, we know we have to get the job done, but we really had to make some changes to how we do that.
Right. And so our shop is also going through changes. They can't work remotely. You can't fix a truck over the phone.
No.
So they're having to go through some huge changes too. And so one of the things that they've told our drivers was, we're going to allow you to stay in the cab of your truck because, again, that's their safe place. And we just make sure they remove the keys where nobody can get hurt by, accidentally moving the truck or whatever while it's in that shop and those maintenance people are there. But our maintenance crew has always had it's one of the strongest pieces of Ozark is how good our maintenance department is, how well they maintain the trucks, and they're surprisingly being able to get the same end result with all of these changes that we're all having to go through.
Well, that comes from years of planning and experience, and like you said, our maintenance department they're fabulous.
They are.
Our breakdowns are minimal. But we're fortunate too, you know, we keep pretty new equipment and,
We do.
you know, we don't have a lot of old stuff on the road, running, and so, that makes it a little easier for them, but that group does a fantastic job and has continued to do that through this process.
You know, Donnie, a lot of companies, they'll, you know, get a dent on a truck from this, that, or the other, and, you know, they'll just wait until they trade, you know. But not Ozark. I mean, when it comes on the yard and there's something wrong, we fix it, replace it. Our body shop also does a great job, and it helps keep our fleet looking good. It's why we don't have probably as many inspections as other companies do, because they keep our equipment washed and we keep it looking good.
Well, I can tell you, having been here for years around this ownership group, they take a lot of pride in how the equipment looks. One of the things, as you know, one of the things we normally do, and a way we do get to visit with a lot of our drivers, is passing out Blue Beacon wash tickets. We pass those out to drivers because we want those guys to present a good appearance out on the road, and that's important to our ownership. So
Right.
That's part of the reason you see this.
So I will tell whoever's viewing with us today, I'll tell you that our trucks are nearly full. We still have a little turnover, but I'm telling you, our recruiters do a great job of keeping those trucks full. We've actually had to push a few new recruits out a week or two until we knew we would have enough equipment for them. So there's some reason why we're keeping our trucks full, and I think part of it may be freight.
I think part of that is freight. We're extremely busy. You know, a very large part of our customer base is covered in the critical business.
Most of our folks have essential goods.
They have essential goods. They're
Right.
an essential goods designation, and you know, we plan on staying busy. Things look really good. Mileage is really good, and we're keeping them running.
You know, our president has declared an emergency declaration. He's lifted a few restrictions on us. Of course, we've got a lot in the trucking industry, but he's lifted a few of those. But we have run our operation so well, we've not had to take exception to those regulations. And so,
No, and I think our customers understand that, you know, from us. We're, you know, we're going to operate in a safe manner.
Yeah.
And that's a big thank you to our safety department of how that's been managed. You know, we've had some critical loads and that we could not deliver in the 11 hours driving time, and we make arrangements to get those loads relayed and keep them moving. So you know, our drivers, they can only do so much, and we just don't want those guys working too many hours.
right.
We've operated.
Yeah.
We're a family business.
Yeah. Hey, if any of you got questions, anything we can answer for you, go to ozark.com. You'll find a contact page there. Be happy to talk to you. Recruiters, got 6 great recruiters. If you're thinking about a driving job, if you're thinking about an office job, pretty good place to work. We got some people getting the job done right now at home, probably in their pajamas, but we're still taking care of customers and drivers.
Right. And look, just thank you guys for what you do out there. We know you have a tough job, and you are the backbone of this company and this country, and we appreciate you.
Thank you all.